Hello, how are you? Welcome to Needing a Meeting, and happy third day of Sober October. And welcome also to the second Tuesday Needing a Meeting. I am enjoying my mocktail of Simply Limeade and Simply Cranberry Juice, equal parts of half and half, with about 6 cubes of ice that have now melted. Nice and tart. Got that little bit of a kick to it, you know? All righty then. Going to be reading from Daily Reflections. Hey, Sarah. Here's Sarah. Okay, hey. This is exciting.
I've got tea, mint tea.
Nice. Our little mocktails. Did you hear the part about the Sober October?
No, I missed that.
Okay. Yeah. I've been meaning to bring that up, since the first, and I did on the first and didn't yesterday because yesterday was hell day. So yeah, you wouldn't think that Monday would affect the country, but it seems to affect the country. I mean, out here in the country, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Sometimes you can have a week of Mondays.
Yeah, for sure. Well, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. We went to Shane's graduation
How was
thing, and there was
that?
lots of drinking. Most of them didn't
Yeah.
even notice that neither one of us drink. They're
Okay.
like, "Oh, I don't have to switch to water yet." Like we were having to switch to water. Um,
Yeah.
it's interesting
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. I
And
wonder if
the
anybody else was there pretending to be drinking, imbibing.
And not drink. No, they were pretty drinking.
Yeah,
But
it's
that's
pretty easy
okay.
to tell, isn't it? Yeah. Especially in
Um,
a major social situation like that where there's all these expectation and stressors and
right.
yeah.
Well, and everybody's passing it around and everybody's insecure, because you haven't
Yeah.
seen these people in 35 years.
Right.
So like the Shane's friend who got us to go kept texting him, come on, go, 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 go. He ended up ghosting us the whole time we were there. And he lives down there. So it was super strange. And he wasn't even there. He didn't show up at any of the events, but he paid the money. It's very strange. But
Well,
you know,
I uh,
when it
yeah.
comes down to it, your anxiety can kick in, and then you
Yeah.
haven't seen these people for 35 years,
Yeah.
Though we went and saw
Yeah.
Shane's stepmother, who's interesting, and she always has interesting ways of like, she was like, "Well, I just didn't know that you had such a problem with alcohol." I mean, why do you have to have a problem to not want it in your life? You know,
Yeah.
like so. I mean, if I think
Yeah. The thing that Steve says is we're teetotalers, and nobody really seems to have much to add to that or have much in the way of questions. Every once in a while, but I think that even like especially old timers, they can take the teetotaling thing and go, oh, okay, you know. I found that's
well,
been the typical reaction. But of course, she knows. Maybe we probably don't have the same typical people that
I
we
was gonna
talk.
say most people that have that response, like they're like, "Oh, I didn't realize you have a problem." I think don't really want to question their drinking. I don't know if that makes sense.
That
Like
does make sense.
she doesn't like thinking of herself as having a problem. She was married to an alcoholic, and so
Yeah.
she has her blinders on where her own children and her own drinking are concerned.
Right. Right. Well, you know what? I'm not going to read today. This is fun. This is better.
Well, I mean, I don't know how many people are listening, but I had a lot I was going to talk to you about because I know,
Okay.
like, with mental health, it's like Mental Health Awareness Week. I didn't know if you
Okay.
knew that. And
I did
so
not. I did not.
that I think that's important, especially tying into alcohol. I think a lot
Yeah.
of us are drinking to self-medicate.
I did that. I
Right,
did when I was drinking, that's what I was doing a
right,
lot of the time.
right. And then
Mhm.
depression, and I still go back and forth on whether or not I need to find something for depression or how to
Right.
handle the world and how my mind relates to the world. But anyways, the Britney Spears aspect. Do you follow her on any social
I
media?
I don't follow her on Instagram. I used to, um, but I have kind of been keeping up, but except for when I started all this, I kind of had to put everything else to the side. But yeah, the
I just think
last I heard was when um Sam had just announced that he wasn't going to go for spousal support or anything like that. He was going to honor the prenup.
I don't know anything about that. Just
Okay.
the way, I mean, her personal life is her personal life, but what she puts out, for the world to see,
Okay. Yeah.
shouldn't be so shocked when people are shocked, Like she's okay, so she's dancing with knives in this one scene, and it's actually, I know it's terrible to laugh, but like there's been some videos made mocking it. Like I'll send one of them to you, and it's great. Like it is so hilarious. I can't help but laugh. I mean, I know I shouldn't, but then part of me is like, well, maybe that's her intention.
You
Maybe
think so?
she's okay because she just posts stuff that should be like
She's gonna
not a final
lose
draft,
in the court of public opinion every time she does anything. Anything. There's
Well,
always somebody that has a way of twisting it to
you're
something.
right. Well, but then again, like some of that you don't have to post. Like it should just be a draft or an edit. That's what Molly said. Molly was like, she posted this, and I'm like, oh, I know. Well, everything she posts is just like, and part of me is like envious. I'm like, yes, you go, girl. And then
Yeah.
part of me is like,
I would imagine that if I were to go through anything even remotely similar to what she went through with the whole conservatorship thing,
oh, it's not my place to judge. Don't get
I
the
would 100% be putting the craziest shit I could just because I could.
right,
I
right. And so
understand.
that's where I think it is, because I have this
Mhm.
line where I don't want to make fun of people who are suffering with mental illness, and so like isn't she like, and at some point it has to be like, I don't care, it's funny,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And she
It's
seems to
good
have an
enough.
amazing sense of humor, actually.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, see,
Mhm.
that's the approach I'm taking.
Yeah.
Is that she is like you said, just being like, whatever, have
Yeah.
it all the
She can't
way, right?
win.
Right, right.
Somebody's
Yeah.
gonna take something every single time and twist it. Every time.
Well, and she's so, but I mean, I do think that she probably is suffering, with mental illness. And
Yeah.
I would hope she's not drinking. But
Yeah.
of course, I mean,
Yeah.
not meaning to be judgmental. Uh,
Yeah.
and it's like she
I
just
don't
got her phone
know
for the first time.
if there is medication involved. I don't know how well alcohol does or does not mix with those with a lot of those
Terribly. Alcohol doesn't mix with anything,
yeah, well, that's true. That seems to be the consensus.
not even Tylenol.
Wow. Huh. Since I've had all this time clean, I just hadn't worried about it because it's not something I have to concern myself with as long as I'm staying on this path.
Right, right.
So I don't. So but I should know. I feel like I should know.
Well, I just mean it's so hard on your liver. Tylenol's hard on your liver. Anything that
Yeah,
you add to drinking, it just enhances. It's like throwing gas on a fire.
yeah,
So, I mean, I've never, and then my dad, of course, my mom would dole out her anxiety meds. And then that's when he would tip the scale to like a whole nother level.
mm,
But for him, he had to drink less to get drunk because he would pop an anxiety med and then, like enhance the effects. I think that's what a lot of people are doing. And then
mm.
that is a scary trend where it's leading to
That
death, like
that's like
Xanax
a
and drinking.
whole new drug addiction
Right, right.
aspect. That is like, a ritualistic type of almost thing.
I
Do
think
you know
it's
what I'm
really
saying? Like,
common.
like
Yes,
certain things, certain substances have a ritual involved.
right.
You probably have to plan your drinking about around when you've taken what and
Well, it's more social. Like a lot of people, if you're taking anxiety meds or anything and you're taking them correctly, you're not going to feel the effects, you
yeah.
know.
Yeah,
And so that's where
right?
they can drink and do less and get high throughout the day, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. I mean, it is. So I'll be moving the light
It's
around as the light outside moves around.
also deadly.
Sure. Why wouldn't it be?
Right.
Ooh, it's it's scary out there right now. No matter what type of substance addiction you could have going on. I mean, just all the things that are out there that were not out there when I was out there, you
Oh
know?
my god, the fentanyl thing.
Ooh,
Terrifying.
yeah,
Terrifying.
yeah. There's a thing called Trank now that is it's like, fentanyl mixed with enough of a sedative to knock out an elephant or a horse or something like that.
And why do we
And
need that?
Narcan won't work to bring you back from an overdose like that. It Narcan can't touch that. They're having to come up with a whole new thing to
That's
administer.
awful.
It's terrible. It's
Yeah.
like chemical warfare has been released on us.
Well, and anything like there a lot of times these are made in the black market situation. And so if you don't clean the thing that you're stamping the pill with, you can get enough fentanyl in something else that will kill somebody, even though they're not intentionally
Yeah.
taking fentanyl.
But, you gotta wonder if you're mixing it with horse tranquilizers or elephant tranquilizers with fentanyl, one of the most deadly things on the planet right now.
Do you
I
have a death
mean,
wish? Or
well, and not only that, if you're the one that's distributing that stuff, you're killing off your customer base, so what else is there to think about what your end game is?
right.
It feels like chemical warfare to
That's
me.
interesting. That's interesting.
Mhm.
And just how far we need to go to escape our reality.
Yeah, 'cause it's a wild world right now. It's wild
It is.
in so many
I
ways.
just found out that we're gonna go. Did you hear about what's happening tomorrow? See, we live in the country, so and I don't pay attention. My
Oh,
daughter
the
just told
October
me.
4th, FEMA thing?
Right. Molly
Yeah,
just
that's
told me. I
nuts.
didn't know.
Yeah, a friend of mine on Facebook sent me a private message letting me know about it. Yeah, that's kinda
So every TV,
interesting.
radio, phone.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's almost like a test of the emergency broadcast system or something.
Correct.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
10 minutes, it's gonna go on for 10 minutes.
Huh.
And even if you have your phone shut off, then when you turn it back on, it'll
It'll
immediately
come
go through
through.
the
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Interesting.
It is interesting. Interesting times. I bet you I mean, you and I could not have imagined a world we wouldn't have had any kind of reference to imagine the world that we're living in right now.
No. And then the weird thing
So,
is, like, Finn doesn't have any sort of reference for a different world, you know?
yeah.
He doesn't
Isn't
remember
that
Mima,
interesting?
right?
Yeah. Does he remember her?
No,
Oh, he was
I
just a
know.
little guy.
I was like 2.
Yeah, that's too bad.
It is. It is.
Molly does though, 100%, and
Yes, she does.
she misses Mima.
Right. Rex
I
and
would
Zach do.
imagine.
They have good memories.
Yeah.
So that's where, like, they like to say Molly and Finn are growing up the rich kids, meaning that we're not living in a trailer anymore. And I'm like, well, rich in that we're not struggling as hard financially as we were, but
Mm,
poor in the fact that they didn't get to know any of their grandparents, because Shane's
yeah.
father passed away. So
Aw, yeah,
I don't know, it's a different world. What is that? Because
yeah,
grandparents and cousins were such an integral part of my life. Of course, I didn't have a nuclear family.
mm,
That's been a whole letting go process because as you know, like I don't have, even though, we're close, we're not close. So my kids don't have cousins that they
yeah,
get to grow up with or, you know, any
yeah,
grandparents. So, for me, it's hard. For Shane, he grew up with just a nuclear family. So
yeah,
that feels normal to him.
yeah,
But, And then I'm
Mm,
realizing, like, I can't be the matriarch for my mom and my sisters, so I can't
mhm.
keep that together, even as hard as I wanted to. But I
Yeah.
do have an opportunity to create that a safe place for my children
Mhm.
to let their children grow up together, you know?
Right. Right.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
It is weird. So did you see my calves on Facebook or anything?
I haven't really I've been just back kinda looking around, I haven't seen you have calves now?
I
Like,
have 2 little calves.
oh,
They were born at the beginning of the summer, to 2 separate heifers that were too young to breed, but the bull had jumped the fence and bred them anyway. They
mm,
were not fully grown, and so they came out of these teeny tiny little wombs, and there was no
mhm,
milk. They were too young to produce milk, and so one of them looks like she was born 2 days ago, and the
wow.
other one looks like he could have been born, like, 2 weeks or a month ago. They're that
Wow.
tiny. I
Were
know.
they your cows that the bull jumped the fence?
No, no, they were the neighbor who lives over here.
Oh,
His
wow.
he has cows in this pasture over here by right adjacent right by us, and then cows across the street from us.
Wow.
And, he couldn't put them in it was time to start rounding up and taking calves to the sale barn, and he couldn't load them up with the ones that he was that, of that generation because they would not arrive alive. They'd get killed in the transport.
Right.
Yeah. So, and he says, "And I don't have time for any more pets." He's got this humongous bull named John Henry that is bigger than a buffalo, or at
Wow.
least every bit as big. He's huge. And then a little mare horse and a mule.
No.
And he's like, he can't, he just can't do, I can't do any more pets, especially any cow pets. So he knows that my farm is essentially pets.
Oh, I love it.
I'm a crap farmer as far as the business aspect of it, but my animals are very happy and very well
Mm,
taken care of.
yes,
Maybe I'll
I
figure
am
out a way
not
to make money off of that somehow. I don't know.
yeah, well, a YouTube channel. I don't
Yeah,
TikTok, so
yeah, pretty much. Hi, Sarah's on.
Hey, I saw her. Hi, Sarah.
Hey,
It's me, Ernestine.
hey.
Hey,
So
I
nice to
finally got
see
the.
you.
What'd she say? Happy New Year. Did you say Happy
Yes,
New
happy
Year?
New Year. I said nice to see you.
It's good to see you. Uh,
You want to put that shade down for me?
I I put gutters on the barn where there used to be plastic snorkels that the dogs love to chew.
Oh
It's
gosh.
metal all the way down,
The
screwed together.
dog, not plural.
One dog, and
Yeah,
he's so sweet.
Petey.
I wanted to be unkind.
I understand. I understand. I have too many puppies right now.
Oh, I'm about to have puppies. Did I tell you
And
that?
calves and
No.
everything.
Edie is about to have puppies at the end of this month or beginning of November.
It doesn't look like
Oh,
I
anybody's chewing. The goats are
know.
all around it, but nobody's chewing.
good
Yes.
job.
Would you put that shade down for me, please?
I have to do everything.
You do.
Which
Thank you.
shade?
That one right there in the corner. That one.
How does it work?
Just pull it my way. Yeah,
I did it my way.
that's good. That's
I
perfect.
did
Thank
it
you.
my way. So is it just us in
So
here?
now I know I need to have that one down for the.
For the
Okay.
meeting.
Yeah.
Man, Sean.
I love it. I love when he pops in like that.
That's not well, I love it when they work. I'm just kidding. Putting up gutters. You're speaking my
Ye
love language. I would love some on my
Indeed.
house.
Oh, you know what? I bet there's a chat going on. Let me see. Has there been a
Or
chat going?
do we have people on here? How do you
I don't know. Yeah, there's chat. Hi, Zenwin. Here
Oh,
listening for now. You can feel free to, yeah.
oh, that's
Okay.
funny.
Hi, Lemmy. Oh, yeah, he's gonna be working. Okay. Alrighty. Looks like we're all caught up with the chat. That's good. I always get scared that I'm gonna miss something in the chat. And now I can highlight comments.
Ooh.
Yeah. I love that. I like that. Did you see it
Oh,
come up on the screen?
I did.
Pretty cool, huh?
Right.
That way, on the when we're on the replay gang, they can see what's going on in the chat and see what I might be talking about if I don't read it out loud,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're figuring this out. And like I said, I have a friend from Arizona. I'll keep encouraging her.
Yeah. She doesn't have to come on like you and I are doing right now. She can just show up and watch and just lurk like that is what
Right.
I call it. And or if she wants to get in on the written chat here, there's a lot of nice people that show up to this because most of the people that are showing up at this juncture are from my meetings that I go to called the Lifeboat. And it's a very, very, very nice community. Really is.
So are they online meetings as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
it's just like this. They're live broadcasts, but then as soon as like we close this meeting down, it'll automatically be up for replay. Like it'll be
Oh,
posted as a video that anybody can watch at any time.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love that painting.
Oh, me too. That's my dad's.
Amazing.
Oh,
Amazing. I mean, I could look at that all day.
oh, I know.
Yeah.
Well,
He
all of
was
his stuff.
he was amazing. When he was drinking, did he ever get back into painting? Was he able
Uh,
to?
oh, he was drinking when he was painting. Like I said, he
Okay.
was drinking since he was 15, and he
Okay.
drank until he died.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I mean, but it's incredible, and he did it with oil paints like that. Like a lot of it's so detailed for oil paint,
Oh, yes.
and he's painted over it. We're very fortunate. We just brought back like another piece of Shane's parents' furniture. It's like that's a whole nother thing in and of itself. What? Yeah, it's all matching. It's beautiful. I'll have to show
Okay.
you. So they
Right
got it
on.
all from the Philippines, and so that's why.
Wow.
Yeah,
Was
his
he
mom
stationed
had.
over there in the service or something? Or
Right, he was a major
okay.
in the Air Force, and so they lived there
Okay.
till Shane was 6.
My dad was a master sergeant in the Air Force.
And then when he moved back, they flew all their stuff, or moved all their stuff back, and
Yeah.
it's so we
Wow.
had to keep the china cabinet.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Then it's like, where do you
You'll find a place for it and a way to use it.
I did. I finally moved it. It is a big, heavy piece. And
Yeah.
and right now I'm gonna try to like corral all of our dead dad stuff into the drawer. And
Okay.
maybe the games. I don't know. I move it all around and try to cull it down. And I'm better, of course, at getting rid of mine than
Mhm.
Shane's because
Mhm.
that's his stuff.
Yeah.
But there's so much. And then I need to just go ahead and help him, like, because he wants less stuff too. That's another, like that's another mental health issue. Like clutter and stuff,
Mhm.
if you're a history and collector, compared to like the value of your space.
Well, yeah. I know
Ah,
that one.
I
Yeah.
know, you know. So
Oh, yeah. I finally found a place for Mama King's little tea wagon here. I was
love
afraid I
it.
wasn't gonna have a space for it, but I figured it out.
That's what I'm talking about. You have to
Yeah.
make it work.
Mhm.
Yeah. So now I don't think there can be anything else that'll come in the house, but watch, there will be. But I love it at the same time,
Right
like
on. That's
not
great.
not that I don't
Love it.
admire the minimalist, but that's just not who I am.
It's not gonna be me ever. You know, even though
Hey Molly, sorry,
some of the
put hot water in here for me. Oh,
some of the most amazing times in my life were when I had the least amount of stuff. Hi, Candy's Life. Hello. Welcome. How are you today? I'm so proud of being able to do this.
You're doing great. I'm proud of you for figuring it out. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it wasn't going to work with StreamYard. I don't know what the disconnect was, but it was a disconnect. And it was just a matter of having some patience to get Restream to connect up with YouTube and all that.
Oh, right.
Yesterday I cussed YouTube for making it all so hard. And so I said, well, at least my story is that YouTube heard me cussing and they fixed it. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
As long as it works.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's all I ask. Yeah, it's doing everything I want it to do. And I'm pretty excited.
That is good.
So are you looking at it from the YouTube platform or are you in Restream? I'm curious what it looks like on your end, on your
Me?
side. Yeah. What, like
I'm in
when you're
Restream. So I
Okay.
clicked the link and then it took
Okay.
me through the thing and I
Yeah.
didn't know how to connect or like start a thing. So it said I could skip, like add a channel. It wanted me to add YouTube or
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
It-
'Cause if you had a channel, it might simulcast or at least
YouTube.
post. Yeah.
YouTube for her. Okay, interesting.
Good.
I'll have
Okay.
to we'll have to get together and you'll have to show me how to do
Yeah.
things because
Yeah.
rather than cussing it, I'm just like, I have no idea. Scream at one of my children to help me make it work.
I bet they could figure it out. They're pretty smart.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're
But
my-
yeah, if you wanted to start a YouTube channel, if we ever get to the place
I
where
think
we
I
have enough,
have one.
okay.
I've posted a couple
But if we
videos.
ever get to the place where where there's enough followers on your channel, being on this could monetize you.
Interesting.
Hmm.
No idea.
Yeah.
I don't think
So
I'm doing anything interesting.
I would beg to differ with
Go
that.
through my dilemma of like moving things around my house. Wrong.
I love this. I love it.
Good. Well, I'm proud of you for doing it. I really
Thank
am.
you. Thank you. Yeah. And it's just a matter of being patient, and that's all it is. It's just it's a game of hurry up and wait,
Right.
and that's okay. That's all right. As long as I have somebody to do meetings with or several somebodies, that's the only reason I'm doing this is because, I know that I need meetings,
Well, right.
and I don't like the formality of the way they do them, in the sit in the circle type thing, and you get it, so only so much time to share and nobody else can crosstalk. I like cross talking.
Well, for me, that's part of the conversation. I mean, I understand that it makes everybody safe to say things without, yes, let's live stream.
I would love that. Okay, what's October 12th?
5th anniversary.
5th anniversary
I'm going on.
clean, absolutely. Yes, that's amazing.
I'm on my 5th year
Wow.
too.
Has it
Well,
been 5 years? How has it been 5 years?
I know. February 22nd will be 5 years. So I'm like,
Really? Guess what my sober birthday is?
what?
February 21.
Wow. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Mm.
Is yours upcoming going to be your 6th, or are you in your?
I'm in 4 years right now, so it'll be 5.
Okay, going in. Yes, Candy's
Well,
Life. Let's.
interesting.
Are you on the lifeboat? Are you on the lifeboat group in Facebook?
Me?
I'm asking Candy's Life, so because she wants to do a meeting with us on her sober birthday. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Right. Well, actually, I guess mine technically is February 19th. Like, there's an interesting journey where, Shane's dad was getting sick. And then, I had been drinking too much since Mima died.
Yeah.
And his dad passed away the 1st of September. So that's sort of where we balance each other out, as I was like,
Yeah.
well, one of us has to be here for the children.
Yeah,
So I
children are
guess it's
funny that
your
way, aren't they? They kinda
I
need
guess
their
it's your
parents to
turn.
be present. Yeah.
At least one of the two. No, I'm just
Well,
kidding.
Candy's, husband's birthday is on February 19th.
Awesome. Awesome.
Um, well, Candy, yeah, if you're on that group, look for Carol Sherman, and I'll, private message you, um, the links. I'll start private messaging you the links to the live streams. Also, I have a Facebook group for needing a meeting. If you just look up Facebook groups needing a meeting, and it shows the same little little guy dressed up with his wings and his aviator helmet, um, as the thumbnail avatar picture or whatever you call it. Yeah, I post there every day pretty much. The link that's for the meetings and also the live link. So turns
50.
50
That's
this
cool.
year.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a big one.
The whole thing is strange about aging and
It is, isn't
getting
it?
it's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
because I don't know about anybody else, but I'm still, you're still 10, you know. Like, I mean, of course
Thank
you're different,
you.
but
Thank you for being a subscriber, Candy. I appreciate that so much. Do you have a channel here on YouTube yourself? You can have a profile, but not necessarily have a channel.
maybe that's what I have as a profile.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Well, I
you
have
could,
posted videos. Does that mean I have a channel?
I would say, yeah. Yeah. I
I
would
don't even know
say.
how I did it. I tried to post a video and then I couldn't successfully do it. So I don't know.
Oh, okay. I bet I can
Maybe
help you
that's
with that.
probably.
Bet we
I
could
think
get that figured out.
this is probably a dead dad cup. Like, see, we inherited so many dead dad stuff.
Yours or Sean's?
I'm guessing this is Shane's dad's because
Shane's,
it's
I
the
mean.
USS Razorback.
Our
Like,
neighbor, our former neighbor in Springdale, Sean, is here, and so I had Sean on the brain.
oh, that's fine. Most Shanes are about Shane's age, which is 53, 54, and they were named after the movie
What movie?
Shane,
Oh,
the cowboy movie. It's
I
a
did not
terrible
know there
movie
was such a thing.
with Alan Alda. Yes.
Oh, that's
If
funny.
you meet any Shanes, say, were you
Uh,
named after the movie? They will say yes.
so is that is I didn't quite retain the answer to your question. Was that your dad's or Shane's?
Probably Shane's because it's military.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, makes sense.
like,
Makes sense.
yeah. But I did kind of
Okay.
like, I mean, so many coffee cups, I didn't even realize.
It's not showing me a link, but I can if you want to uh
It might make
private message me, I can make sure it gets posted next time. I need to get some wrenches in here, some admins that can they have the authority to be able to post links. YouTube's funny that way. Like if you do a comment with a link in it, they'll just automatically delete it.
weird.
Because that's how scammers were doing and spammers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so just they made it so nobody can have anything nice.
Or they made it so, we can all enjoy.
Yeah. But yeah, Candy, it's not showing me the link, so I'm gonna have to make sure I can either get it posted. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's see.
All this lingo, what does it mean?
Why isn't it letting me make you an admin? Why is that? It's got all the stuff for, putting people in timeout and all that, but it's not letting me add as an admin. Let me try this.
Discipline. Putting people
Steve,
in
I don't know.
Marco.
Polo. Polo.
Was he asking you what's for dinner?
Can you see Steve in the window? He asks.
Oh, I can't.
No, I've got
Are
it
you
turned
there?
so that the window isn't showing now. I like having the view in this little corner here. And not,
Molly, bring me your little ghost. Molly made these. We've been making. Well, she gets all the credit. We made these little ghosts, and
Yes.
well, Amy gave you all the credit, and they sold.
For
I've
some
been
reason,
telling them
it's
what they're
not
selling.
giving me an option of making you a wrench, an admin. Oh, those are so cute. Those are so darling.
Aren't they darling? This one, the balloon kind of shrunk, so the head looks strange.
As
But anyways,
I click on your name, it's putting up comments instead of doing what I need it to do, which is add you as an admin. Why is it not letting me? I guess it's a restream thing. I wonder if I were in YouTube, if that would make a difference. But
probably.
I'm scared I'm gonna mess up the
Yes, be afraid.
stream. We will figure it out, Candy, okay? We'll figure it out for sure. Even if I have to do like maybe a little impromptu go live on YouTube Studio where I can have the YouTube interacting chat. This is the restream. It's showing me what is being typed in YouTube, but it's not letting me do like YouTube does for some reason. Okay. All right. Interesting.
Very.
Sort of. It'd be interesting if it weren't so dang frustrating.
Well, but that's what makes it interesting. I mean, if it was easy,
Everybody'd be clocking in.
or you wouldn't care to figure it out.
That's true. That's the thing me and Steve say all the time. Yeah, it's easy. Yeah, that's why everybody's clocking in and doing it. Talking about farming usually.
Oh, yeah, so easy.
So
So easy.
easy. That's why everybody's doing it.
God. Yeah, I need you to come clock in over here.
Have you seen my little donkey Jet?
I have seen you post that. That is cute. Watch out. Donkeys are smart.
Oh, he's a scary smart.
Yeah, I was gonna say he'll be
He's a-
letting himself in the house and having breakfast.
Oh, the other day, he we were not awake yet, and we heard right outside of our bedroom window, which is, by the way, not a pen of any kind.
Right.
He figured out, the only thing that I can figure is he figured out how to nose up the little,
Oh, he did. He did.
yeah. And he just was sitting there braying by. He knew that's where we were.
Mm-hmm.
And
Smart.
he was just sitting there
Smart.
braying us just to let us know. He knew. And he was there. He didn't try to go anywhere else.
Right now. Yeah. That's hilarious. I remember when we first moved out here,
They
like
can be.
we'd lived in the trailer and we heard like cows, and I was like, oh my God, that sounded like really loud. And so I got up in the morning and there was like 50 head of cattle in our tiny little, like in our yard. The person across the way had left the gate open and they all just like streamed in the way cows
No, they weren't
do.
even your cows. Oh, that's
No.
hilarious.
I know. We were like, whoa.
Candy says donkeys are very protective. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And they don't, my little guy takes no business. He's in with the boy goats, which they can give the business all day long, and they do. But they do not mess with him.
Right.
Because he don't take no business. I'm not I'm just not taking no business, no business. That's a Jimi Hendrix song. That's a
Wow.
Jimi Hendrix song. There's an album that he did with this guy, starts with a C, whom I'd never heard of, and it's called Get That Feeling, or at least that's what the cassette that I had said was Get That Feeling, and it was all like there's one song, girls are all the same, that play that Jimmy game. They say they gotta have a new dress. So it's that kind of vibe. And it's
Right.
Jimi Hendrix. It's amazing.
Have you ever listened to any Mudcrutch?
Mm-mm.
That was like Tom Petty's high school band.
Oh,
They've got some
hey,
good stuff.
somebody's here. Let's see.
Yay!
Hey, hello.
Hi. Yeah, I made it.
I love you. This is my
Hey.
friend.
Hi.
Sarah, I am Sarah. So good to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you too. Yeah, I barely made it, but hey, better late than never, right? So,
100%. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for
Yeah.
being here. How you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
Do you need a meeting?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
do.
Well, what can we help you with?
This
What's
is my
going
best
on?
friend.
No, I just wanted to meet you and say hi to
Okay.
Sarah. I know there's not much time left here, but
Oh, we can take all the time we need. There is no hurry.
I just recently fell off the wagon, and
Okay.
it was a bad one.
Okay.
So,
okay.
and
Are you clean now, or are you still going through it?
no, I'm on day 2.
Okay.
You know,
Sober October. Perfect. Your timing's perfect.
Sober October.
So, it's just gone a year there, almost a year, a couple times, and 6 months here, 6 months there, and then all of a sudden, I like almost plan a relapse.
Okay.
My mind convinces me, you know what, just go ahead and get fucked up tonight, and I do, or it'll be even a month. Okay, you know what? On this date, I'm gonna drink.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's never spontaneous. It's always planned.
Wow.
Yeah, it's always.
Kara is very smart. She's like a rocket science smart person.
I plan it. I'm like, okay, you know what? I know I don't have to go to work on these days, and these people will be gone, and
Okay.
so it's like I just kind of do that, and then of course it's never just hanging out with the hangover. It's I'm gonna go ahead and drink when I have the hangover.
Okay.
And so it kind of just spirals, and then okay, go another week. So this month has been bad, but I just cannot do this anymore, man.
Okay.
So
well, we're here to support you in any way you need.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What this is did you ever watch the show Mom?
No.
Well, like later in the later seasons, they used to do this thing where, somebody would be spinning in the group of ladies that were in the recovery program together, alcohol recovery. And so one of them would be, do you need a meeting? And they'd be like, yeah. And they'd have a meeting right there on the spot.
Yeah, that's cool.
Or, or one of them would be spinning out and just say, I need a meeting. And they would just do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I love that. I want that. And so I wanted that, and that's what I want to make this.
Yeah. How are you guys feeling? No, how are you guys feeling with everything and
well,
sobriety?
I'm celebrating Sober October. This is my favorite mocktail.
Piece of furniture.
Oh, sorry. This is my favorite mocktail of Simply Limeade and Simply Cranberry, half and half, with about 6 cubes of ice that have now melted.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a really tart kick to it, so it's got a little oomph without making me relapse.
Without making you spend a lot of money and not remember.
Yeah, it is a really cheap,
Yeah.
it's like I don't know, $7, $8 for the 2 bottles, and they'll last me a good while, you know?
Have you ever done shrubs? Like the vinegar shrubs?
Mm-mm. I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Well, Pink Alchemy makes them, but you can make your own like flavored shrub and then add it to like sparkling water. It's a similar thing, you know, healthy for your
Okay.
gut type situation.
Well, what I kind of wanted to do is throughout the month of October, since it's sober October, was share a mocktail every day.
That's a good
So
idea.
yeah, so
I'm
maybe
doing my green tea.
okay, maybe we can get your recipe going and somehow
Mm,
get it up in the chat or something.
that's a good idea. Well, we used to make mocktails with shrubs at Greenhouse Grill.
Okay,
Right.
I had forgotten that you worked there.
Yes.
That must have been intense.
Yeah.
Anytime you wait tables, it's intense.
Oh, it attacks your adrenal glands, and definitely, you know, you need a drink to come down off of that for sure.
Ooh, yeah, I remember. I used to cocktail waitress, and there was no leaving work without my 2 comps.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, so if
you're
you ever
on
need a meeting anytime, Kara,
anytime.
we
That's
can.
right.
Hey,
I
that's
do a
cool.
standard 4:40 every day, 4:40 Central Time,
All right.
and then anytime anybody would call a meeting, um,
Yeah.
we'll do it.
That's
Yeah.
sweet, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And the idea too is that, even though it's my channel that's starting it,
Hmm.
I'm hoping that a lot of people will have their own channels. And if I am out of pocket, like if I'm, God forbid, having a medical situation or somebody that I know is, and I have to be there, that there's somebody that can do a meeting,
Hmm.
somebody available at all times. Um,
Yeah.
I have a Facebook group, so we'll need to make sure that you're connected that way, because I do post on there pretty much every day, the meetings and stuff going on. I sometimes I miss a here and there, but for the most part, I try to keep everybody up to date on what's happening.
Hmm.
She
But
comes and goes off social media, which is good. I approve.
right on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes it just need a little break.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I took a year off of Facebook one time, and
Yeah.
best thing I ever did.
Yeah.
At that point, it would have been my 10 years on Facebook, and it was needed. It was a needed thing yeah, it was good. So yeah, I get it. And I'm all for it. You do what you got to do to keep you on the road that you want to be on, you
Yeah.
know?
I got to get over this hump. And then, it's always these months, November, December,
Okay.
and it's like, I don't know what it is, man, about those 2 months, man, where pretty much, I mean, with the exception of a couple years, get so hammered and sick that it's a breeze starting over in January.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I can roll on for 6 months and be like, I got that sick that
Yeah.
I don't want to touch it, and then it's the cycle starts again for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
So when you start planning your life around how you're going to start drinking again,
Mhm.
is there a certain trigger that you have become aware of, or is it just
Yeah, I mean, so the first thing that starts happening is I sense the change in the weather. I know it's going to happen.
yeah,
I can't stand this. I like being outside. I like that whole thing of lighting fires, but then
yeah,
I know I'm going to be planning like, winter camping trips, which is to me, I don't know. That's a trigger because
okay,
why not get hammered or even
yeah,
just
that
being
makes sense.
here. I'm gonna be
Mhm.
decorating and playing Christmas music, all that
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah, okay,
And then I'm like, why not just do it while I get hammered? Oh yeah, because I stapled my finger to the pole last year, or
Right.
so
so
what we've got to help you figure out is a way for you to take your brain to a different activity.
Yeah.
a different go-to
Hmm.
for dealing with those scenarios.
Well, I
Yeah.
think like it's similar for me too. You get this anxiety about like birthdays, hosting,
Hmm.
holidays.
Yeah.
And then, so in order to stifle the anxiety, the depression of feeling not good enough, you drink and then overcompensate. You
I
drink
am
to get
100% that way.
Okay.
right, to get out of your way. And like I have a hard time sometimes, that motivates me. Like I almost feel more creative as far as like designing or painting.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why anytime you painters, like there's a bottle cap on the other side, like do you know
Yeah.
many
Funny.
painters that don't drink?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody drinks.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's so it's
I did not know
weird.
that was a thing.
I guess that's the whole thing about, I mean, whatever you want to call us, problem drinkers, alcoholics, whatever. I don't put the label on it, but
Right
is
on.
that whole stimulant effect, that whole, ooh, that's going to get me through this, and it'll
Yeah.
make it more fun because I can get a
Yeah.
lot more done, you
Yeah.
know,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
so
Well, and then you
Yeah, it
beat
makes it
yourself
so
up
much
because you feel
easier for
bad.
us to get out of our own head and get out of
yeah.
our own way. It does. You
Hmm.
know, I was so socially awkward that I literally just thought it was a gift from God when I discovered drinking and what it
Hmm.
did for me socially.
Yeah,
I did.
Oh yeah.
same.
Well,
I used to have this thing that I'd say, you know, I went to church, didn't find God there, but bellied up to the bar and lo and behold, there he was.
Yeah, that's definitely how it started for me, really.
Yeah.
Is just being, because I'm like a major introvert,
Okay.
naturally. I found that out,
Okay.
through my sobriety. I mean, I kind of always knew,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
knew, and I'm just one of those. Like, I'd rather sit at a table by myself and eat, you
Right
know,
on.
and that kind of thing. And, you know, so that definitely was a source for
Yeah.
me.
Well,
we were stilling bottles of alcohol and drinking when we were like 14.
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I don't
I was telling I went to, actually, I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's called kinesiology. Anyway, it's about the energy, mind, body
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
I
went
know
to a
what you're talking about. I haven't done it, but I do know.
yeah, I went to a therapist yesterday for that. And because I'm very interested in that kind of thing, the electrical part and mind, body.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was telling her, man, like, I remember the first time I got wasted, I was 10 years old.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Kinesiology. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, duh, it goes back even further back,
Yeah.
this whole thing.
I
Yeah.
think my dad got me drunk when I was like not even 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that's the thing. I remember drinking
that
those
used
little,
to be a thing that parents did.
yeah, the little miniature High Life bottles. My dad would laugh, if I grabbed his and just slammed it. And I'm pretty sure I was like, I must have been 4 or 5.
It's hard to imagine. I mean, my parents weren't those kind of alcoholics, so
Well, he was a single dad, and
Mhm.
Catherine and I would go to sleep that way, or make it easier on
Oh,
him. Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I would like to propose something. How about, even though you're an introvert, um, instead while you're planning your how you're gonna drink and, all the things that you go through when you're getting there, how about having a meeting, private or in this platform, and then just go ahead and walk us through the whole thing.
Yeah, that sounds
Let us
great.
plan with you.
Yeah.
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 I'll be like, okay, I'll show you my notebook of how I plan that shit.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know,
Definitely.
it's crazy. I'm like,
So
It's not crazy.
before
In a
you
way, it's
allow yourself
intelligent. It's
to
the
take
reason
that
why you stay a
drink,
functional alcoholic, because you
have a
plan.
meeting and go and go and let us in on it. Let us help you plan, and we'll go from there.
thanks. Yeah,
You
that
know?
sounds cool.
And who knows where the plan will, what I used to do when I really wanted a drink. And I probably still would if I was in that mindset. I almost relapsed after 29 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I was about to not make it because, I'd just said fuck it too many times.
Hmm.
And, but what I used to do is I used to imagine myself where I was gonna go to get the alcohol, whether it's a bar or which liquor store. And then I would imagine the whole thing of, opening the bottle or getting the drink handed to me and stirring it or whatever. I would go through the whole thing and I would imagine what it tasted like and felt like as I'd shudder as it'd go down, and I would go through all of that. And then things would start getting murky and foggy. And then, here I am 2 weeks later in a ditch.
Yeah.
But I would
Wow.
walk myself through every bit of it, every
Mhm.
detail. And it's almost like, okay, well, I did that.
Hmm.
And so
Right.
I don't have to drink because I did that, Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's a good strategy there, because
Take the planning
that's
one step further and plan and just go all the way.
yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's a total possibility for me, like for all of us, right? I mean, we
Yeah.
don't know. Like, I can try to be as smart as I want, right? And be like, okay, these are the days I'm going to recover or taper, and then this is how long it's going to take. And that doesn't always work for me,
Crazy.
right? And so, I could get in my car. I could be in jail.
Yeah.
I could be. I know that's a total possibility. I just,
Yeah.
so.
Mhm. So Candy's life is in the chat here, and she's going to be coming on with us sometimes. And she's got a 5th year coming up, and we're going to celebrate that with her on October 12th,
Oh, wow.
right
Cool.
here. And Candy says, we'll plan together for you not to drink. It will be fun.
That's
We can
awesome.
do it.
I
And
love that idea.
congratulations on your 29 years.
Thank you.
And it kind of scares me still, like hearing these stories that, like, oh man, it still comes back,
Yep.
you know?
Tommy on the lifeboat, when I was sharing with him that I was seriously considering, you know, not being sober anymore,
Mhm.
because, and I figured out where it was coming from eventually, but he told me that whether we are active in it or not, our addiction continues to grow.
Mhm.
And I'm like, how is that possible?
Yeah.
And I don't know how that's possible, but it is an illness.
Well, I
And
think for me and Kara,
illnesses do, they do tend to, if it's a chronic illness, it's going to progress,
Mhm.
and so I guess if you look at it that way, it makes sense. But it also later on, as I thought about it, it's like that is true, because I would not be at 29 years and ready to say fuck it.
Mhm.
And for real, conscious decision, not just grabbing a bottle spontaneously.
Mhm.
And then I was writing in my journal, and I saw where that was coming from. I did not go to rehab voluntarily.
Mhm.
I had to go to have a roof over my head. Though I was in San Diego, California, and I don't know how, it was a miracle. I got an overnight pass to stay. I guess somebody had just gotten kicked out, and I just happened to walk in at the right time, and and ask, and I was shell shocked from a thing that had happened the night before.
Mhm.
And they excused themselves and came back and said, and it was a trolley ticket. And she said, this is a 21-day, this is a 1-day pass, and you're to take these tickets and go to this stop. And she wrote it down for me, which stop I was to get off on. And there's a little house there, and you're to talk to this woman. And if she agrees to take you on as a caseworker, as a case manager, then she will approve you for a 30-day stay. in this bed that you're going to be sleeping in. And so I did the thing. I got on the trolley. I got off. I was scared to death, because I had drank the night before.
Mhm.
It was a box of wine, and it was like the more I drank, the more sober I got, because
Mhm.
I was in a situation where, girls can get in with guys,
Mhm.
and it was a date situation,
Mhm.
date R. And so yeah, and the thing that made her stop and go, "Oh, would you excuse me a minute?" and then come back with the trolley pass was, she was asking me all these questions, and then I just looked at her. I said, "Do you guys just have like just a pair of clean underwear I could have?"
Mhm.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. And so I didn't have to say that that's what had happened to me. She knew, you know.
Mhm.
And she was a very compassionate young girl, young woman, and she saved my life more than likely,
Wow.
because I wouldn't have made it out in those streets,
Mhm.
and I had just been dropped off there right in front of St. Vincent de Paul. Well, good luck. Hope you get in.
Mhm.
And there's a wait list to get in.
Wow.
But I was I'm normally a size 6. In the 7th grade, I was a size 0. And right before I flew out to California, I found a dress that I had at the age of 13 and 14, and I was able to put that dress on and zip it.
Wow.
So, it was pretty clear that I would not survive in those streets. Anybody
Mhm.
that looked at me would pretty much figure out that, "Oh, yeah, she'll be gone tomorrow," you know,
Mhm.
and I would've. And so the case worker said that she would agree to approve me for a 30-day stay in the bed that I was already in if I did a sobriety program. And she said she wasn't gonna make me do 90 meetings in my 90 days, but that she would make me do 3 meetings a week, plus have a chore at the shelter, and, um, and that, she would recommend that I go to more meetings if I can, and go to as many meetings as I can. And so thank you, Cindy.
Yeah, that's
And
amazing.
so, yeah, a lot of
Wow.
us have,
I
you
was gonna
know?
say, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, so I never really got to own that I'm an alcoholic, and I never did accept it. I never did find myself comfortable in those meetings saying, "My name is Carol, and I'm an alcoholic."
Mhm.
I couldn't make myself say that. I could say that I was in recovery. I could say a lot of things, but
I
Mhm.
was
not
born again. Oh, sorry.
exactly. I did a lot of that too. You betcha. Because that was my new thing, as I was a brand new hippie Jesus freak. Because I was in this Catholic place, and I was just going, "How am I here? How am I not in those streets right now where all you can smell is piss and shit? How am I
Mhm.
alive?" And I look at one time when I'm asking those questions, I see this big poster of Jesus, and I'm like,
Mhm.
"I bet he did it," you know? So then I became a Jesus freak right then and there.
Mhm.
And, I've had a whole journey that, I would not say is I'm where I was. Let's just leave it there for now.
Well, but that's interesting. It's an interesting journey that you've been on, and then
Mhm.
now trying to recover from the religious trauma.
Yeah,
Like, we've touched on that some,
yeah.
and that's something that I don't really have much of. I don't know if Kara may or may not. I have some interesting stories I can tell about going to church with her, which I loved. I loved going to the
My best friend in high school is Kara too.
they did her family did not like it. I loved going. I was like, "Yes, take me." It was so great.
Yeah.
That's great. That's hilarious. Oh, that's
But,
good.
yeah, so
Yeah,
I
so
I skirted by without religious trauma somehow, but I
yeah,
think a lot of people have that to recover from, and part of recovery, I think, is having some sort of connection to a higher power, a God, a Jesus, whatever you want, like, I think we need that. We need to realize that there's something out there that's bigger than us, you know,
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
humbling, because we have such a arrogant, like, not alcoholics, addiction has this arrogant, self-centered, I don't even know what I'm saying, I guess. Where you close everybody out. You think
Yeah.
that you can get away with it, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm exactly trying to say, but or maybe it's anger.
That's where our brains are the most dangerous is when we're doing that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Our brains are they're not for us in those times if we're in any way vulnerable to drinking again,
Right.
and
Well, and then you
even
want
if we stay sober, it's still, it, even though you may need to withdraw, there's a healthy way of going about it, and there's that indulgent way that's not so healthy, if that
or the
makes sense.
disconnect. It is, and then you do things that you wish you hadn't done.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, because you're doing it to try to escape a feeling or whatever, to try to escape, and then you end up like becoming what you're trying to avoid. It's an
Yeah.
interesting way of manifestation,
It is.
And I think of my dad, because he was so sweet, but then when he was drunk, he could be really mean. And then
Yeah.
eventually, like, he just became like there was no difference, like there really wasn't a sober side to him,
Yeah. And I saw that. I was just like, that poor dear man. Because he was like that. That's just who he was. That is what
Right,
alcohol had done to him. That's who he was.
right.
I could see it,
Yeah.
I could
And it
see
was
it.
sad. Like, he would get profiled. He'd go to my kids' games, and they would like, and he would just be there enjoying the game. Of course, he did have beer in his Love's cup. That was so obvious. I don't know why he thought he was like sneaking that or
Being
something.
clever.
Like, yeah. And so then, like, all the parents would like report him, thinking he's just like some random creeper, like watching the boys play ball. Like, all of a sudden, the cops are there, and he's pissed off at Zay's mom or whoever, the soccer mom. And I was like, well, dude, you're like lurking over here, looking creepy.
That's funny.
You know what, guys? I hate to cut this off, but I have less than 15 minutes before the pharmacy closes, and I've been without my medication for 2 days, and I can't do that another day. We can reconvene later on if you guys would like to. I'm happy to do that.
No, I called in. I wanted to meet
How can you
you,
get to a
and
pharmacy in 15 minutes? I know where
Well,
you
because
live
it's
now.
in
I'm just
Elkins.
kidding.
It's in
Oh, okay.
Elkins. Yeah, and
and
takes about 5
but
minutes.
thank you guys for the invite, and I'll definitely I'll hit you up
Okay.
some point. All right.
I
Thank
usually
you.
Sarah, I
I
might give you
usually
a
close
call.
the meetings with a moment of silence for the person still struggling, whether they are sober or not, and also in remembrance of those we've loved and lost, and then followed by the serenity prayer. Sarah, would you mind leading us in the serenity prayer just whenever you're ready?
Okay.
Okay.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen.
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 Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Go
Thank
get
you,
your
guys.
medicine. Yes, let's do this again soon. Who knows? Maybe even
Love you
later on
guys.
tonight.
Oh,
I love you
thank you,
too.
Carol.
It was so
Bye.
good meeting
So I
you.
might call you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.